Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yes, I look like a deer. I am doing a collab with 7 other channels, and I had to put my look up earlier this morning, and it is still trying to download. So that's why you have me in my full doe look, minus my full lip and nose kind of look. It's like, oh my gosh. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hey, Mr. Bones, how are you? Thank you for coming up. I know I look a little crazy. I'm going to be interviewing today Patrick from Have Cheetah Will View, and we're going to get to learn a little bit about his channel, and then we are going to go ahead and probably, I want to talk about some wonderful new movies coming up for the Halloween season. I know I look crazy, you guys. My ears just don't want to seem to work that way. How did it come out? You guys, the video for that should be up after this because I'm having so much trouble trying to upload videos today for some strange reason. So hopefully the lighting is okay for you guys. If not, I can brighten it up. So again, I'm going to be asking Patrick some questions about his channel, get to know a little bit about him, and he does some collaborations himself with other channels. And so this way, but I'll let him talk about that once I get him up. Hold on. I know he is hiding down there. Patrick, are you there? I think. I don't know. Let me see.
I'm in the show.
Okay. Hopefully you are up. Can I see you? I can't see you. Oh, you're coming now. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, you like my little look. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to take off all my makeup or put new makeup on. But I figure it's Halloween, so to just go, Halloween season, it'll just flow with it there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a delay, isn't it? Can you see me? I can't see myself on your on the big screen.
No, I don't see you either.
All right, let me back out and come back in because you know how it goes. You always have to have a
Yeah,
delay. Okay, we'll be right back.
I know. Glitches. I've been having glitches all day long, too. It's like, hey, Mr. Bones. Hi, Tyrone. How are you? I didn't see you pop up over there. I know. This little thing in the back of my head is going to drive me crazy all day. Let me grab him one more time. Yay!
Ta-da! That's it.
Now I can see you.
Yay. It's time to
How are
go.
you?
Good, good.
I I know my computer has been kind of crazy today. It's still been trying to upload a video that I did from before, and it says it's still got 40 minutes left. I'm like, what the heck? Hey, Lennox
How long?
Lights, how are you? Thank you for coming in. So, how was your day so far, Patrick?
Very, very busy.
Oh,
I am burning the midnight oil,
oh God.
trying to book my November.
Oh, yeah. I think I have my November pretty booked so far. So, but let's go to let everybody know what your channel is about. But I'll start with my first question for you. I'm like discombobulated today, so sorry
Okay.
about that. What is your channel about?
Well, my channel generated it morphed over, which I still have, and I still poke out. I still actually post there once in a while. It actually came from my blog. I have a blog called The Inner Circle on
Okay.
WordPress. So I started my blog there about 8 years ago, and yeah, I just the more I was writing, and I thought, well, I wanted to promote the blog, so why not do a YouTube channel? And then once I got to YouTube, then I just really enjoyed the format. So
Oh,
I did film reviews and I did my interview series and a couple other different things over there I haven't done yet on YouTube, but my
okay.
interview series started from there, and so did my film reviews.
All right. So you do a lot of film reviews. What kind of films do you do a little bit of all different type of film reviews, or is it
I'm
just
very,
one genre?
I'm very happy to say I cover everything.
Okay.
The only two things I do not cover are torture porn and adult films, but anything
Okay.
else.
All right, cool. So how did you come up with your name for your channel?
Well, I came up with the name because I have a pet cheetah, and his name's Paladin, and so I used to watch the TV show Have Gun Will Travel, and I told my wife at the time, I says the next cat I get, I'm going to name it Paladin because I love the character, and it means nice champion in French, and
Oh,
when I got Paladin, when I went and got him, that's what I named him. He actually had a really good name first. They at the shelter. Um, they actually were calling him Duncan, and I almost kept that for Duncan MacLeod, the Highlander. But I was really set up on on Paladin. So and
okay,
it's just
cool.
natural, just flowed easy.
Cool. So I know, how long has your channel been out for now?
About a little over a year. I actually started it in July. As
Mhm.
far as really going after it in July of 2020.
Okay. So what kind of hurdles have you been overcoming with your channel right now?
Whew, I think the same hurdles that pretty much all of us small tubers face. Not only getting subscribers, but keeping them. It's a slow road. It's a hard road. Um, because you know how that goes. Like the first 100 was just a
Yeah.
night.
Oh yeah.
'Cause, yeah. I remember how excited I was though the first time I went inside Tuber Chat, and I added on like 11 people, and I'm going, "Oh my God, this thing's gonna be a cakewalk." And then I woke up the next morning, and all 11 were gone. I was like, "Whoa, maybe not so much."
Yeah, it's kind of rough getting that first 100. Just like you said, that first 100 afterwards, it gets a little bit easier. And I think your last 100 before you get monetized is your next big hurdle.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think that and getting your hours is the worst, the hardest part of it. It's like getting those hours in to get your monetization at that point.
I,
So I know you do collabs with other channels. Can you tell us about your, well, first let's talk about your live streams that you do, your interviews. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
yeah. The interview series is actually probably the oldest series I've ever done. I actually started it way back when, and I really regret not backing them up. But I actually started it on MySpace. I
Okay.
was I was doing it on MySpace, and
Oh,
then because I was a blogger, I went over to and I just carried that with me. And then once I got my WordPress up and running, I decided to just restart the series there. And so I went ahead. I started the 8 Questions with series on my blog, and tremendous success. Um, I love doing them, and it's a lot of fun. And so it just seemed like once I got this live stream down,
mhm.
it's a natural thing just to go ahead and bring the interview series over. And so that's what I did.
So can you tell us what type of people you have on your channel that you interview?
Well, I'll interview anybody. That's the thing. That's the fun thing about it is I'm not just it may seem very entertainment heavy, but I'll interview
Mm.
anybody. You and I have done our interview. I've interviewed Kevin. Um, I got more coming up from other YouTube channels. I'll talk to anybody. Angela from Morbid Heart Designs. I've met her through the channel. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. Plus, the entertainers and the musicians and the artists are a lot of fun too.
Yes, you have some very interesting people on your interviews. I find them really fascinating. Some people I don't know about, others that I learn as you're interviewing them. You have a lot of actors on your channel too, mask makers, writers. I mean, you have so many different wide range of people on your channel. I'm like jealous. I'm
Uh,
like I didn't.
well, your channel is really popping though too, Michelle. I mean, I think you got. I think your format of interviewing the two YouTubers, in our communities, and thing is, the communities. See, I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the whole key when you do an interview series is you don't get
Yeah.
locked into one type of genre. And
Yes. No.
your interview series is outstanding.
Oh, thank you. I'm definitely trying. I'm trying to get different people up on the channel, different types of, channels. So we can all learn about, what everybody's about. So sometimes learning about the person behind the channel makes the channel even more endearing to people that they want to keep on going back and knowing more about them. So it's just like, it's kind of cool. So you have also panels that you do. Can you tell us about your panels, your live streams that you do with your panels?
Yes, we do. We do one show on Sunday. Oh, there's Diana right there. In fact, I'm interviewing Diana on the 28th.
Woohoo!
Uh, um, the shows I do panels with. I do two shows. I do one on Sunday nights, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. and it's called the Midnight Hour. And Mr. Bones is a co-host, along with Hobbs Horror and Jennifer Tochi and the Spices. And come on and do it from 10 o'clock to about 1 every Sunday night. Sometimes we just, right now it's a spectacular, which is which is all things horror. We're doing Rocky Horror Picture Show live watch with us on Sunday night.
Oh, I can't
It's
wait to
Hobbs.
do that.
It's Hobbs this month. I mean, Hobbs rules Halloween. He's known as the Pumpkin King, and so every time October is going to roll over, I'm just going to say, just take it away, Hobbs. Uh, because he loves Halloween. Let me tell you. You look at the word diction. You look up the dictionary Halloween. It's going to be Hobbs looking back at you.
Yeah, I love his channel. I've been trying to catch up with some of his videos and stuff like that. I still have to try to do my video for his contest that he's having on his channel. So I'm like,
You're entering them. Oh, sweet.
I'm gonna try to enter. Let's see how it goes.
I can help you. I can help you
Okay.
because I'll just come sit on your shoulder every day and say, Michelle, did you get it in yet? And then
Yes.
so you get tired of hearing me, and then you'll just end up doing it. Um,
Yes, I know. I know everybody's talking about, yes, my makeup, you guys. I have a video going up. It's for a channel collab, and we're doing different looks. And unfortunately, I ran so late that I had to come up with this, or I would be like really, really late for the interview. So that's why you're seeing me in my Halloween look here. Um, so I do know that some of the collabs that you've well you've done interviews with so many different people. So what would you say has been your most exciting interview that you've had?
um, wow. Well, I can tell you one that was really fun, and because it was literally a 1 day. I had a 1 day turnabout, and this was on my blog. I got approached by a publicist who wanted me to interview Diana Lee Inosanto, who
Ooh.
who's recently just appeared on the Mandalorian. But this is a couple of years ago, and so I had 24 hours to do this interview, and we had to do print. And so that was a lot of fun, and I got it done. I sent her my questions. She was very grateful and really fast, and she wrote back, and I put it up there within 24 hours. It's still up there. I'll I'm sure you'll put my link. I'll give you the link to my blog, and people can go there and check it out.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Yeah,
I have,
attach it
I have
to.
like I have yeah I have like a playlist of my interviews on there. Um, so that was really fun too. Of course, interviewing people that you see on screen,
Mm,
uh, that's a lot of fun. A lot of cool, very cool directors who who will talk to me, like Michael Cassie, who did Hangman and Hunter's Moon. Um, he was a lot of fun to talk to. Ashleen Clark from The Devil's Doorway, um, and then discoveries. Actors you discover when you're watching films, and that was like Kelly Goody Price, um, Meredith Moeller, Chris Moore. I mean, there's so many great artists that nobody really knows of, and that's really what I like to do. I like to
mm,
go. I like to go with those that are just on the way up. Um,
cool.
yeah, I just find just like, and that's how when I do my movies, I'm like that too. I don't really like going out there doing the huge ass blockbusters because everybody's doing them, and so
Yeah.
when and you get lost and you get lost, and
Mm.
um, and so I rather go after the smaller movies that nobody's heard about and the actors are just now coming up because getting them first is a lot of fun.
Oh, definitely. No, you've had some very, very interesting people on. I know my little headpiece is driving me nuts here. So, how do you go about? I mean, I know don't tell all your secrets, but how do you go about finding people to interview?
Well, there's a lot of ways. I think for me, my favorite way of doing it is a cold call. And
Okay.
what I mean by that is I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook. And so what I'll do is I'll go inside there and I'll put a link to my page and or a link to my playlist, which is really critical. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because what you want to do is you want to establish that you have credibility. So if you just come up to somebody and sit there and say, "I want to interview you," without anything, any background,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not going to get anywhere. Like every interview that you do on your show now, by the time you get up to your 10th interview, you're going to find that getting interviews for your channel is going to become a lot easier. The further you go with it, the easier it gets. Because
Yes.
Yes, because they see you and they go like, okay, I never heard of Makeup Mom and Son or What's My Channel, but
Mm-hmm.
once you show them your link and what you've done, oh wow, she's talked to 20 people. Okay, she's legit. She's put some time and effort into this. I want to be a part of it, and so they'll come to you and say, yeah, I want to do your interview.
Yeah.
That's really what it is for me. I'll put out my link of the shows I've done, and then they see that I've done it and then they'll more likely some will not everybody I don't get everybody um
Yeah.
a majority of them will come over and do an interview with me.
Oh, cool. Who would you say would be your ultimate interview that if you were ever to get, I mean, sky's the limit, from any area, any expertise, who would be your your dream interview? Who would you love to interview?
A grail interview.
Mm,
Wow. Yeah, I think that if I actually had a chance to sit down and talk to anybody without any sort of restrictions or anything, I would probably be just like a lot of people would. I would like to
mm,
interview somebody like an Elon Musk or a Jeff Bezos. I like to
cool.
Yeah, I like to go out there and because I don't like asking softball questions, so I would ask the questions I want to ask. You
Hmm.
not that I think that the public wants to hear, but I want to hear. You
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
so which makes for a much more interesting interview.
Yes, no, that definitely true. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but I mean, do you plan out your questions when you do your interview? Do you do any history, or do you kind of like just take it on the whim?
I will do history. I will
Okay.
definitely do history, especially for entertainers or directors or writers and whatnot. Um, but as far as having set questions go, um, it all depends how I feel about the vibe. I mean, when I do a pre-show with somebody the day before, I like to get the vibe of the person I'm talking to. If they're nervous or a little bit stilted, I might go with a couple of really set questions just to get them into the mood, break
Mm,
the ice. But if someone like you, like when you and I talk, um, it was just like talking to a friend. The only difference was that I just asked you a little bit more questions, like you're doing now.
Yes, I guess that's how I kind of like do it too. It depends on how you're rolling with the person. Sometimes okay, let's just do straightforward questions, and sometimes you just wind up talking about 17,000 different things, which I tend to do.
No, that's fine. No, I mean, no, I think that once you get your interview style down pat, once you feel comfortable asking the questions, you'll find yourself, relying less and less on set questions.
Yes, I think that I kind of like try to ask certain base questions, and then we go from there, because another question might pop up in your head as you're talking to the person, be like, oh, hold on, let me grab that question right now while we're talking about it. So I mean, how long would you say it took you to get into doing your interviews? I mean, was it hard to get into going on live stream and doing those interviews with people?
You know, I, I'm an introvert actually. And when because I was when we started doing the midnight hour, it wasn't I wasn't planning on going up there. I didn't plan on going up there. I had another person in line to go up with Hobbs. I thought
Mm.
those two would really go up and be a fantastic team. And so, I thought about that. And then Hobbs says, well, why don't you just come and just come and do the first show. And
Mm.
I did. I really thought that I would be like a rock. Um, I really did. I thought I wouldn't be saying anything. Nobody's going to want to hear me. No one's going to want to look at me. That sort of thing. And so but it was weird. It's like once the light went on, and I've known Josh for such a long time already that it really was like I was just like talking to my friend. It was just,
Yeah.
and we had a ball, and it really came easy for me. Um, you know, I have a 10-year background in live music, so I've been used to dealing with high-end public figures for a long, long time. So that part of it it wasn't hard at all. Um, the only thing I try to do now is I actually like doing streams like this much more than doing my solo stuff. My film reviews. Oh,
Hmm.
just I'm brutal. I'm,
So,
I'm surprised I get any views.
so you said you have a background in music. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I was a talent buyer in San Jose, in the San Francisco San Jose Bay Area, for about 10 years. I started out with a small club called Marsugi's, which was an over 21 venue of about 150 people. And then I went to Club Oasis, which held about 1,000. And then I went to the
Mm.
Agenda, which held about 175. And then I went to the Edge, which held 1,000.
Oh my gosh. So what did you do? What was your role?
A talent buyer is the person who books the acts.
Okay.
Which is why asking people for interviews is very much like live music. You go up to that person, you offer them a date to come talk, or you offer a band a date to come play. And then once they say yes, then you go out there and you promote it.
Okay, cool. So this is now very easy for you, at least getting the people onto the channel, because that's how can I say. I'm just amazed at the people that you have on your interviews. I would not even know where to start to even try to get somebody, an actor on or anything like that, and I'm just like always amazed. But it's because you have that background there.
Honestly, let me I mentioned about the cold call. So let me tell you about this, because you can do this as well, and you should. The cold calls, I sign up to a lot of acting groups on Facebook. Not an actor, but I sign up for all of them. I sign them up. Then what I do is I take my playlist of all the past interviews, and I'll say, who wants to talk to me? Who wants to be interviewed? That's really
Okay.
basically it. I'll say, who wants to be interviewed? Here's a list of all the people I've talked to, so that when you come over, you can see that I'm legit. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of scammers out there. and be aware of that. Um, and then what happens is I put my playlist out there and I say, who wants to come talk to me? Just leave a comment down below. And then when
Mm.
once you see people start commenting, and then what you do is you take, for me, I'll just take the first, I'll take like the first 7 to 10 of them. I'll take you 10. And then what I did
Okay.
was, this is for print. And then what I did was, I would turn around and I would tell them, I said, I'm going to send you 8 to 12 questions. Um, you have 3 weeks to answer them. Um,
Okay.
then you tell them your format. You want to tell them, please answer the questions as much detail as you can. Here, the only thing I'll ask, and it's something I should have, but I didn't. The only thing I'll probably ask anybody here now from doing my interviews going forward is at least give me 48 hours if they cannot do it. If you cannot
Okay.
do it, please give me 48 hours so I can find somebody, because I can. In 48
Yeah,
hours, I can always find somebody to talk to. Um,
that is true.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I've only missed one interview, which was during the time with dealing with my shoulder. And even for today, I was like, oh no, am I going to miss one for today? Because I'm having issues again with my shoulder. And it's just like, it's been a very long week for me. that's, that's why I'm so late with everything today.
Oh no, no, I get it. I get it. I mean, life comes on, when it happens, and I've lost a couple of interviews because of tech issues, and
Yeah.
it happens. And as long as I said, and that if that's the case, then I'm there, and I'll sit there and say, hey, there's tech issues, there's nothing I can do about it, and then I'll cancel that interview itself, or if I can't find somebody. Um, but I've been really fortunate. I've actually found 2 Australian actors that came over and talked to me at the very last minute. And
Oh, cool.
most actors will come, and because actors, they have to learn one thing. This is something that they've forgotten. A lot of these artists have forgotten, is that you have to promote yourself now. It is no
Yeah.
longer just enough just to show up on a set or audition or self tape. It's like once you get out there, you got to do stuff like this, like interviews with you. You got to
Mm-hmm.
you got to get out there and get your name out there. And every interview that you do is only going to make your digital footprint that much better. That when people
Yeah.
type in your name in Google, guess what? There's your name. Makeup. What's your channel about? Makeup Mom and Son, and there you go. Now you have a little bit bigger of a digital footprint. So
Yeah. No, it's
um,
true.
so they'll come talk to you.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I'll send you some of the I'll send you some of the groups that I'm in. Join them,
Okay.
and then just sit there and say who wants to talk to me, and then
Okay.
yeah, it's easy.
Oh, cool. That'll be cool. It's like, oh, I have more interesting people on. So let me ask you another question. Um, I know that you were married before and your wife has passed away. Um, were you doing all this, your channel and stuff, while she was still alive, or did you start this afterwards?
Uh, I started writing about when my wife got sick. Um, I had no outlet for it, so I
Hmm.
started writing like a blog and Facebook. Facebook used to have a little thing called Notes, which was their blogging tool, which was really crappy. But I started writing on there, and I did it just to get it out because
Hmm.
you know. And so once I started doing that, then I transferred my blog over to Blogger. But Blogger was not friendly toward commentators. It was not comment friendly. And so then I wrote through my wife's illness and through her passing through there. I had
Hmm.
to write or just basically stay alive, because without writing, I'm probably, yeah, and this is safe to say, I'm just being honest, probably wouldn't be here. I mean,
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. Um,
Yeah.
being able to write it out and having a way to express myself. And I pretty much did that for like 2 years. The first 2 years, I wrote mostly about my wife and I, and then
Hmm.
um, then I just felt like people, because I was actually getting bummed out by it, but I don't think people want to keep coming over to see how badly this person's hurt. They're not going to be. They know it. They can go back and read what I've written, And so I said, well, let me see what I can write about now, just to be writing, because writing was a tremendous stress release. And so
Mm-hmm.
I wrote what I knew, and that was, I said, I'll just do movie reviews. It seems pretty easy.
Yeah.
Um, and it isn't. It wasn't. No, I go back and look at my first reviews, and I'm like, wow, that's just a little bit painful. But I once I switched over, I had tremendous help from a friend of mine named Sean Kane,
Mm,
who showed me how to get my interviews on the International Movie Database page.
mm.
So all the reviews I've done on my blog, they're on the movie database page.
All right. So essentially, when you do your, I guess with the limitations that YouTube has, that you can't show the picture itself, the movie that you're reviewing, how do you deal with that?
Well, as far as I do that here, I'm really bare basics here. And
Yeah.
so, I what I do is I just show the cover. I just show the DVD I'm watching. I show the cover. Um,
Okay.
I have if I'm watching Halloween, I'll go like this and I'll talk about it that way. I don't have the bells and whistles where I can show people pictures or clips or stuff like that. And then
Yeah.
with the end of it, what I do for the what I can do what in the whereas I did in the blog, what I did there was I can post pictures in my blog. I can
Mm,
post. I can grab pictures from it's out there on Google. I can grab it, and then I put a link up to the trailer. So if you want to see the trailer, you can just hit that, and which is probably which I should do here. But
mm,
honestly, people here already know that if they're interested in the movie I'm talking about, they can just type that up right away. Whereas
yeah.
the print blog, it was helpful to have the trailer so people could
Okay.
come. Um, so yeah, I unfortunately I don't do that. I don't do the pictures per se. I know a lot of people like so there's a lot of more established blogs, movie blogs and
Mm,
whatnot. But I just go out there and just give anywhere between 8 to 10 minutes worth about a movie,
mm,
show the movie. Like I said, I just what I just did, and then I post it
mm.
up.
Oh, cool. What are the, I mean, are you able to show clips on, if you were able to do that, are you able to show clips while you're reviewing a movie? Would
Yeah, I mean,
YouTube go against that?
not on YouTube. Not I have never done that on YouTube
Okay.
because it's just too easy to get a strike.
Okay.
It's just not worth it. I've seen people who have put up their put it up, and then next thing you know they're getting strikes, and then next thing you know because they're fine tuning it, they're trying to get less than 20 seconds on there. They
Mm,
put fair play or what, and they still end up losing the content, and if they're not careful, they could lose their channel.
yeah.
To me, it's just not worth it. Um, that's one of the reasons why I like doing the interview too. Is like, here I'm interviewing the person who actually made the movie or
Mhm.
or book or whatnot. And here I am asking questions that you might want to hear. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I know there's a lot of good channels out there, and panels out there that do that. But unfortunately, I'm not one of them.
No, and I've seen a lot of different channels doing reviews like you do, and everybody kind of like does it the same. And I was always wondering if it was just because of the way YouTube is now, with all the strikes that you can get, that you can't, show the movie itself, which I think it's kind of weird because it's a review. You should be able to put a clip in there, not the whole thing, but a clip in there, so this way everybody kind of like, or like the title, part of it, and just have that in there. But I guess YouTube has their rules, so.
Well, I think it's the funniest thing I think I've seen is when reviewers who are have bigger channels, and sometimes the film companies will send them the clips. They'll send them the clips. They'll sit there and run the clips on your channel, and they got permission from the studio to do so, and they go up there and put it up there, and they still get strikes. It's like, and there's no way of sitting there going like, I got permission to do this. They said it was fine for me to do that.
Oh, that's
Um,
just so crazy. I mean, if YouTube was to allow you as a creator to do something more with your reviews, what would you want to be able to do? Would you want to be able to just do the clips or?
Um, I mean, there's pros and cons to that. Tiffany, that's my homegirl Tiffany here. Tiffany wears t-shirts.
Yes.
Um, there's two thoughts up behind using clips. I mean, yes, you can use clips. And I think what happens though when you use clips, I don't know. To me, it's like when you use two. If you want to use a couple of clips for a new movie, um,
Mm,
me, it's like, well, you're taking away the time it takes for you to describe the movie, talk about it. I think that a good reviewer should be able to explain the movie, how it is, if you want to go see it or not, based on their verbal review. Um,
mm-hmm.
that's how I feel. When I watch a reviewer, if they show clips, that's great. But if they're sitting there and they're able to articulate why they did or didn't like this movie, then I'm more inclined to go with that reviewer more than I am someone who sits there like doing a reaction video. A reaction
Yeah.
video, I've done a couple. I'll probably do a couple more, but I don't
Mm.
ever look at them as a way of getting you to the theater or to the store to buy a movie. Whereas someone who can articulate a movie if it's good or bad, I'm more apt to go with that reviewer and take a chance on that movie based on what they've said versus someone who just shows clips.
That is true. I like to know a little bit about the video. And there have been some that, some people have been like, oh, well, this is such a terrible, everybody has their own opinion on what they think is a good movie and what they don't think is a good movie. And even on with the critics itself. So I like to go ahead and, hey, somebody says, well, it wasn't really a good movie. It's kind of slow, whatever. I'll still go ahead and watch it and judge it for myself. So. But then I learned about the new video, the new movie, because I didn't know about it before somebody reviewed it. So,
Yeah, reviewing is, it's really interesting about it reviewing because reviewing is tricky.
mm,
For one thing, let's be honest with you. Um, I'm not a journalist. I'm not a film critic. I'm not, I'm just a guy who offered you just an opinion on what I think. Do
mm,
I, I don't get, there's only a handful of people. I mean, I do mean it's a small handful of people whose reviews I watched that would influence me enough to want to go or not see a movie.
mm,
But that's so small. Otherwise, no one's not going to influence me on that because all we're doing, we're just giving an opinion. This is
mm,
my opinion of it. I'm not, and to me, a film critic is is someone who hasn't made a movie yet. You know, it's like
mm,
to me, it's like I respect someone more who's actually gone through the process.
mm,
They made a movie and then they come back and tell me why they didn't like it. I'm
mm.
like, I'm going to be listening to that a little bit more than someone like myself who's never made a movie, but I'm supposed to be sitting here telling you why you should or shouldn't watch this movie. If the acting's good or bad or whatnot. I don't think we need to take the review part as as seriously as a lot of people want to think. There
Mm.
are a lot of egos, that drive people to do film review channels. I want to be seen. I want my voice to be heard. Just like
Mm.
everybody does, but doesn't mean your voice is any more important than mine. Even
Yeah.
though you might have 50,000 subs and I only have, 370, my voice is still just weighs as much as yours does. Yours
No.
might be heard a little bit more, but doesn't make me any more important.
So I guess you have to be very biased when you're doing your reviews because you're just telling what the movie is about. Again, you can't, nobody could sway somebody from liking something or not liking something because everybody has their different opinions. But I guess you have to be very neutral, like
Yeah,
Switzerland,
I was gonna
when you're
say
doing your
that's
reviews.
yeah. How I do my interviews is, for one thing, I try to find something good in every movie. There's only
Mm,
been a couple of movies. There's been a couple of movies that I actually got angry at. Like this is just absolutely terrible. And I mean, most of the time, if the movie's bad, and there's some bad movies. There's a lot of bad movies out there, but we still have fun. And one for example, one that we've had so much fun with in our community, it started off as a bad joke. It was a movie called Ouija Shark, and it's a terrible movie. I mean, it's awful. The guy who made it for $216 Canadian. It's
Oh my gosh.
horrible. It's a horrible movie. But at the same time, we have so much fun talking about that movie. We talk about that movie. We every stream we talk about it over and over and over. And some people liked it, some people didn't. But we're all talking about it, and so we have fun with it. And that's really what overall. That's really what they're trying to do is have fun and talking
Hmm.
about the movie. Um, but we try to find something good in everything. You try to find like good actors. Like I found so many good actors and not in really low budget movies, but they're sensational actors. Or a director who's come
Hmm.
out, movies come out and no one's even heard of it. And then you find that director and go like, holy crap, this is just amazing. And I've
Hmm.
had and I really enjoyed that. Um,
No, you do such a great. You have motivated me to look more into the movie details than before because I love horror movies. I love watching all different type of horror movies, and
you're impressive. Your knowledge is impressive.
but you guys, know so much more about the background behind the movie, the writer, the director, the actors. You know more of that story behind the film. Me, I love watching the films, and half the time I'd be like, you know what? What's the name of that movie? What's the name of that movie? And
Right.
I'll watch the movie, but you really know that background behind it, which I find even more fascinating because there's so much more into the movie than what we're just watching on TV. The insights of the director and, kind of like why he put something up there. I mean, I know that you guys have been talking about, and I will say it, the Human Centipede, which is a very unusual movie. But until I started listening to you and when you're doing your live streams and your panels and stuff, the background that, yeah, when you first watch, you're like, ooh, what the heck is this? But I didn't realize that the director really put so much thought into that it was something that could be medically done. And he was very precise with it. So when you go back and you look at the movie knowing that knowledge, you're like, whoa, okay, this is kind of creepy, but yeah, it could really happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one of the other panels I do. We started at the IFC Midnight Nights. We do one show every the last Sunday of every month, and that's a big collaboration. That's the biggest collaboration I do. I collaborate with Night Watch Zone, Night and Coriander, and Ben, Cadaver Club from the Coast to Coast stream, and myself. We all talk about IFC movies. And so our last month, yeah, that's what we end up talking about. We end up talking about the Human Centipede. It's a fascinating movie. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a fascinating movie. All right.
Yeah, no, it is. If nobody in the chat has watched it, um, if you're into horror, if you have to watch it to understand what the movie is about. It's a little shocking at first, but yeah, you have to watch it. That's all I kind of like to. I don't want to give away too much details about the movie itself, but yeah, it's one that if you're into gruesome kind of films,
Yeah,
it
yeah. Don't eat it with a full stomach. Uh,
yeah, don't definitely not.
uh, yeah. Oh, okay. I did not know. I was just gonna say, no one's in the chat has watched the movie. I was just gonna say, I'm sure Mr. Bones has watched it, but I'm looking at there and he's saying he has not watched it and he's not going to. I get that. Um, I get that. Uh, uh, everybody has their limitations on what they'll watch. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
No, I'm into very gory movies. I like the zombie movies, and that's something that I did want to ask you about. I know that you do all type of views, but I know there's different genres of horror. What are the different genres of horror?
Well, there's all sorts. I mean, you got your you got your like slasher films, who are like a movie like Friday the 13th um, or a Halloween, where the killer mostly, they basically just taken a bladed weapon and they're
Hmm.
supposed to stab you to death with it. Then you got your supernatural horror, a nightmare on Elm Street, supernatural horror, Poltergeist, Chucky, Child's Play. That's supernatural horror. That's a supernatural plus a slasher. Um, then you got your creature features. You got your animal horror. You got body horror. Uh, uh, like science fiction horror, comedy, dark comedy horror, which is tricky. Um,
Well, that would be more like Ash. Ash would be more of a comedy horror.
yeah, that's an interesting thing because Sam Raimi is an interesting director because I always felt like Sam Raimi really wanted to be, if he was really honest with himself, and he had a chance to do so, if he had to do it all over again, I think he really wanted to be a comedy director. But he got known as a horror director, but he is a comedian at heart, and
Mm.
which can work in some films. Um, but like to me, it's like the first two Evil Dead movies are really good and they're scary as hell. And
Yeah,
then he switched it around, and then he brought out Army of Darkness, and he changed the whole tone of the series and made it into a comedy. So now, like Army of Darkness and Ash versus Evil Dead, they're they're entertaining, but they're not going to scare you. There's nothing scary about them. They're
yeah.
just whereas Tiffany saying she won't watch a Serbian film. Tiffany, how do you know about the Serbian film? I'm a little bit impressed with that. Yeah, Serbian film. No, you don't want to watch that. Yeah, that's definitely human centipede territory. Um,
Yeah.
she's talking about a movie called A Serbian Film, and it's really, really brutal. It's one of the most brutal movies out there. Been surpassed by now, but it's pretty rough. Um, yeah. So I mean, that's as far as that goes. Horror films go. You got vampires. You got like, there's all sorts of good genres out there, and some movies might good, like I was mentioning Sam Raimi, he made it into a comedy, which I think is really hard to do, horror comedy.
Mm.
There are some really good ones out there, like Cabin in the Woods is a
Yeah.
perfect one. That's a great movie. I mean, it pokes fun of all the horror genres. It goes through all the cliches that you see in every movie, just about, and that's a lot of fun.
I love Shaun of the Dead. Would that be in that
Yeah,
same category?
Shaun of the Dead is a good. It's a good dark. It's a good dark comedy. It does have a couple of decent moments in there.
Hmm.
Movies with have a little. It's not just all fun and games. There's a little bit of heart to it,
Yeah.
which a lot of people they forget that because they just keep on thinking about the Sean. Oh boy, when you're thinking about Sean and his Simon and Simon Pegg, they keep on singing all the antics he does. But that movie actually has a little bit of more heart to it than that. Um, Edgar Wright did a nice job with it. Him and Simon Pegg did a nice job with that in writing it. Nick Frost.
I,
Uh, yep.
I
Um,
I love that movie. I'm into the zombies. I'm a little bit into everything. I also like I like the Japanese horror films that come out. Some of them are really, really good. I like the plague movies,
mhm.
um, the bats, the ants,
Oh,
Sharknado. I had to watch Sharknado. I watched the first one. I had to watch all of them.
oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah. The Asylum, and there's a lot of low budget studios like the Asylum or SRS Cinema or Wild Eye releasing. They put out a lot of movies that are really low budget. Not and they have a lot. There's a lot of gems there. There's a lot of
Oh, yeah.
gems. Um, and like Sharknado, I mean, who saw that coming?
No,
You know,
I didn't see that coming after the first one, and then they were very, very wise to put as many stars as they did into each one of the films. Like all these stars wanted to be in Sharknado.
um, Tiffany's right. Train to Busan is another movie. To me, that's a real,
Oh
what
yeah,
makes a really good horror movie. It's not only for the shock of value, but you got to have a good story.
oh
Um,
yeah,
two of the best movies I've seen is Night of the Living Dead. Night of the Living Dead was it broke the mold in so many different ways.
oh yeah,
Um, and then you had Dawn of the Dead, not the
yeah.
first one in '78, but the remake. That
Mm,
remake that remake is one of the best acted movies, and I've seen it ever and seen it in horror. I mean, that
mm.
movie has a lot of heart. I mean, you really care for all those people in that side of that building.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And,
You know, I had a question the other day, and I was asking everybody. Let's say take an older movie or any of the older movies, even you know, uh, Freddy movie, any movie, and take it with the CGI and all the equipment and all the advanced technology we have now, and you use the same script, same word for word script. Can't be the same characters, actors, because some are around and some are not. But what movie would you like them to see them remake now with the technology we have now?
uh, well, that's funny because I know the remake for Nightmare at Elm Street. I know people universally hate it. They absolutely hate that movie. Um, but they don't hate the actor who played Freddy,
Hmm.
Jackie Haley. They don't hate him. I've never heard anybody sit there and say Jackie Earl Haley sucked in that movie. They say the
Yeah.
movie itself sucked, but not him. Um, so as long as I could keep Jackie Earl Haley and I could pick my own script writer, I would like to see them come back and do another Nightmare on Elm Street with Jackie Earl Haley because
Okay.
I think he made an awesome Freddy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I mean, he
There,
go ahead.
there's some people that you cannot change. It just, I don't know. The film is never the same with the new character. The same thing in Poltergeist. The old man in the Poltergeist movie. On the last one, he had passed away, and it just wasn't the same feel to the movie as it was your first or your second one.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna happen if they make a remake of Phantasm. If they ever
Mm,
do movies like a Phantasm, or they redo a
mm.
movie like Hellraiser,
Oh
without the
yeah.
original stars in it. People want the original stars to keep coming back, and it's like, Robert England's like pushing 70, and it's like, I mean, I like Robert England, but 70 years old is pushing it, for that character. And this is a movie you want to have someone young and was not that Jackie Earl Haley's spring chick. He's not exactly but he's much younger than Robert England. But I want someone like that. I want someone to find that character. I want Freddy to be Freddy like he was in the remake and in the first
Yeah.
three, in 1 and 3, before he became a caricature.
Yeah.
Uh,
My thing is, I don't think some of the remakes that they have now can't take away, one, the actors that were in it, but also the vibe, the acting, the thought process into it versus some of the CGI that they have now. They put too much animatronics and different things in it. I mean, it makes more for a visual kind of look, but I think the actors really had to do more in older films than they do have to do now.
yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, back then they had to, it was all practical effects, like, we're talking about creature features, and on the Night Watch Zone, and I mentioned them, doing the Swarm, talking about the Swarm.
Oh yeah.
Well, now a lot of people don't know this, but the Swarm, if you watch it, is about a bunch of African killer bees coming up from Mexico. If you watch that movie, you're thinking, wow, there's a lot of CGI here. No,
Mm.
there was. They actually used every bee. They used bees for that whole movie.
Oh
That
my
was
gosh.
the way they shot it. The way they shot it, but those bees were all real. They used like over like maybe I don't know. I think it was like 25,000 bees, and they used them all. Or Irwin Allen did. Today it was
Oh,
just nothing but CGI, and
yeah,
there's just nothing more scary knowing that what you're watching is real. You know,
true. I mean, the birds. It's the same thing with the birds. Alfred Hitchcock. I mean, I don't think you could make that any different than what it is because it still was kind of creepy. Now, when I see a bunch of birds together, I look on the side and it's like, maybe I'll just go over to the other side.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's actually yeah. That's a good thing too. The adaptations. Um, in horror movies. Like a lot of people like The Shining. I can't
oh
stand
yeah,
it. I personally just can't stand it. Or The Running Man. I personally can't stand The Running Man.
oh yeah. I've
Because
watched The Running Man too.
yeah,
I think I could watch The Running Man more than I could watch The Shining. I watch The Shining. I get it, but it isn't one that I'll sit there and rewatch and rewatch over and over again. But that's my personal thing on it too.
I mean I read the book. I read the novel for the Running Man. That is a terrifying novel. That is. I mean, if you actually go read it,
Uh,
Stephen King predicted the future twice. He predicted the future twice in his books. He predicted the pandemics that we're seeing now. First, he had the AIDS virus. If you read The Stand and you see about the HIV, there's a lot of similarities. Too many similarities. And then, of course, then he wrote about the culture of TV now, the streaming culture. Everybody's
mm,
streaming. Everybody's got to be entertained, constantly being entertained. They're being entertained so much that they're being distracted about what's going on behind the curtain, and that's in the
mm.
running. And also he also puts in the climate change into the Running Man. It's an amazing story.
I
And
haven't read the book.
oh, it's exciting. It's one of his best. But the movie is it's just a regular popcorn movie with Arnold.
Mm,
I'll see you later, Richter, or something like that. It just wasn't that good. Um,
yeah. I guess is the interpretation of how the director put the book into play. So let me ask you, what book have you read that they did just an excellent job on the movie version of the book?
wow, I'll tell you the truth because I watched it not long ago and I was really impressed with how well they got it.
Mm.
I thought the mini version of The Stand from 19 in the 90s. I
Oh
thought they,
yes,
I thought they got that really really good. I thought they nailed it. I
that is
thought that
true.
yeah, I really like that as far as that goes. Um, I really like the Lord of the Rings. I thought the Lord of the Rings
Oh
was
yeah,
was, was about 98% perfected. Perfection. Um, not the Hobbit, but the Lord of the Rings.
yeah, the Lord of the
Though,
Rings
though,
itself.
though they did miss one important aspect of Lord of the Rings, which I would like to ask Peter Jackson about that. But overall, the Lord of the Rings itself is very much how the book was. Down,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I watched the movie. I read the books from when I was younger. I love them. I've reread them more than one time, and it was the first time that I've seen a film that when you're reading a book and you visualize how an elf looks, he or the hobbits look, he took that image and put it on film. I mean, it just amazed me. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's what I envisioned in my head, and he had it on camera. So he did. I mean, he did an excellent job on
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's
Um,
just like crazy.
I thought the Chronicles of Narnia stories were really on point.
Oh yeah.
As far as that goes, it's unfortunate they stopped after the Voyage of the Dawn Treader.
Mm.
They only have three more books to go, and but I thought the first four were done extremely well.
Oh yeah. I love the Schneider books. I also, oh gosh, I have so many different books that that was my main read when I was growing up, were more the fantasy books. And when I say fantasy books, not, feminine fantasy books. We're talking about goblins, witches, dwarves, all those type of books. And I've always had a fascination with them. Read so many series, and I start one and I give it to pass it to my dad, and my dad does the vice versa. And so it's just like, there are some amazing books out there
Um,
that I wish they'll put on film, but I don't. The Dragons of Pern. They'll never be able to put Pern in a movie. It's just, I don't know. I don't know who would be able to do that.
yeah, Anne McCaffrey series.
Yes.
That's a beautiful series. Um,
Hmm.
I'm really, I tell you the series that I'm really like, I'm just holding my breath because I just can't imagine how it's the only series I know that just it'll probably be better than the book without even me seeing the first episode, and that's the Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. Oh,
Oh,
um,
yeah.
that was like the worst fantasy book I've ever read, and I read Gary Gygax's book too. That's the worst one I've
Yeah.
ever read. Oh my gosh, it was boring as hell. But they made a
Yeah.
movie, they're making a series out of it, so we'll see where it goes. As far as horror goes, the new generation of horror, you know, there's just so many. I mean, there's so many ways that you want to see these movies continue, but I don't necessarily want to see remakes. I want people to, I don't care if you want to do a Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Mm.
but I don't want you to do a remake of it. I don't want a reboot. There's always there the movie that you watch, the movie that you're making,
Mm.
it already had a movie good enough to where you wanted to remake it in the first place, right? So
Yeah.
instead of remaking it because you can't improve on it, why don't you just move the story forward? You know,
That's true.
I wish more and more studios did that.
Mm.
Um, oh, thank
No,
you so much.
definitely. I just saw the other day, and I didn't even know they had it out. Was for the Terminator. I watched the last Terminator one where, oh, and again, my thing with actors and names and stuff. The mom, the original actress, she's now much older, and it's moving on to another girl. I mean, it was just, was it the best one? But it was interesting to see where they were taking it now more into the future.
Um, yeah, wow, that's a strange one there, right? Dark
Mm,
Fate. Um,
yes, it was interesting. It didn't really tie anything kind of like together. Um, I was kind of like a little disappointed that Arnold Schwarzenegger, they made him. I mean, I thought he was a robotic, so I didn't know that they aged like we did. So that kind of like confused me just a tiny bit. Um, but it was kind of sad at the end when, well, you guys watch the video and you'll see. But um, it, it was interesting, but was it the best? But at least they tried to take a different step on it. So.
I'm noticing the chat about the sequels and whatnot. I think if you do sequels, I think that you can instead of reimagining it. I don't think you need to reimagine it. I do think I think if you just move the story forward, you have so much more options to go. You could go so many different places. Hello, Jeremy. Uh, I'm to- I'm, I'm totally missing your whole chat here, Michelle. I'm totally
No,
sorry.
no problem. No, I do think that I would love to see them do a Terminator, but in the future, and how they're dealing with um, how they're going to beat the machines. Is there an end to the machines?
Not every single movie the thing is, so it's like the last movie, Dark Fate. They brought back Linda Hamilton, right? They brought her
Mm-hmm.
back. This is something I found really strange. So they brought back Linda Hamilton to do Dark Fate, and she came
Mm-hmm.
on the first big role she's done in a very long time. So she came back and did the role. Okay, so Dark Fate came out and it came out and at the first weekend, it didn't do very well. It just, who
Mm.
knows why? It just didn't do very well. Maybe it was because it was recycled. I don't know. But I was really surprised and dismayed in the fact that she turned around, Linda Hamilton did, and she just savaged the movie. I mean,
Hmm.
beforehand she was all for it. Then it came out, and all of a sudden, then she's like, "Oh, I don't want nothing to do with this shit." And it's just like it really hurt the franchise, and it really hurt the cast and crew that put all that work into it. To me,
Yeah.
I think I don't necessarily think an actor or a director should really, should really talk trash about their project. Ryan Reynolds does that, and it's a huge pet peeve to me because he talks trash about one of his movies that he did called Green Lantern, and he will make fun of it any chance he gets. Any chance he gets, Deadpool movies, interviews, talk show. I mean, any chance he gets, he's talking shit about it. And the thing about it is, though, is like I rewatched that recently, not that long ago. I
Mm.
want, is it really that bad? It's not. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie at all. At all. Origin movies for any genre, or an origin movie is the hardest movie to make. Here's a bunch of characters that most of the people who watch the movie have never heard of. It's the
Yeah.
filmmaker's job is to get you to get out there and say these are the people that you never heard anything from the Marvel characters, or here when calls to heart, or that sort of thing. Um, but you got to explain to these people who've never heard these characters. You got to make them want to know more about it, and it's
Yeah.
hard. The origin movies are the hardest. So that's what happened with Green Lantern. Here they're trying to make a superhero movie. They're trying to make it so people who don't really know who Green Lantern is, here he is. This is what he's doing.
Yeah.
Well, they were the only thing that the filmmakers was guilty of was he was ambitious, and
Mm.
that's not such a bad thing for a filmmaker. I don't think.
Yeah. No.
I don't think it's. I rather see a director. I rather see a director go hard for it than to play it safe. Like I
Yeah.
don't do that. Um, I mean, if it fails, it fails. Um,
Mm.
if it fails, it fails. But if it doesn't, it can be really glorious.
Yes.
And
No.
um, and that really would all. It's the only thing that he was guilty of Green Lantern was he overreached. But the movie itself, the
Mm.
Ryan Reynolds performance, it's on point. It's really good. If
Oh
Ryan
yeah,
Reynolds,
I saw it.
yeah, if Ryan Reynolds was really honest with himself, he would actually go back there and watch how restrained he was,
Hmm.
because Martin Campbell, who was the director, didn't let him be silly. He didn't let him do the Deadpool thing or the Blade
Mm.
Trinity thing. He kept him on point, in control. Like, let's do this movie the way it's supposed to be done. And he's really restrained, and he's really good in Green Lantern. He's not bad in it. He's really good in it. And it just like and I enjoyed him. It's one of the
Mm.
movies of Ryan Reynolds that I actually really truly enjoyed. Um,
No, it definitely is true. I've seen some movies that they've given, what, the tomato, the rotten tomato, this and that. And I've seen some of them and it's like, where are their ideas coming from? This was a pretty good movie. Yes, you don't have all that big budget and stuff like that, but I found some of these more B-rated movies, especially in horror and stuff, to be so much better than some of these high-tech, you know, movies that we have nowadays.
yeah, the hype machine is really something too for movies.
Mm.
I don't I don't I don't give Rotten Tomatoes any credibility at all. I have
Yeah.
no respect
Yeah.
for that. I mean, I know it's a bunch of critics or whatever, but I don't. As far as it got the Rotten Tomato stamp. Well, you know what? That means as much to me as nothing. Um,
Yeah.
because I have seen far too many movies, and I do mean far too many movies, where they'll sit there and say, "It's great. This is fresh, certified fresh," and
Hmm.
you watch it, and it's like it's certified all right. It's certified not fresh. It's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. A lot of the movies are overhyped. They're not that good. They're not that good.
Yeah.
They're only good because they're overhyped because the studios were able to get money into it. Oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. Um,
Yeah.
um, like Midsommar, or coming up now, Lamb, or The Green Knight. Those are all movies that on the surface everybody loves them because they're critic darlings. But if you really go watch those movies, they're not very good at all. and you got companies like Rotten Tomatoes that are basically being paid to
Oh
say
yeah.
that.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and, and
There's been some terrible movies that they said have been excellent. It's just like, do you ever remember a long time ago? This is out of even this genre, but The English Patient, I think it was
yeah,
called.
yeah.
And it was so hyped up. My mom was dying to see and stuff. We sat there and watched it. And after about 15 minutes, I just walked away. I was just like, what the heck is this movie about? It's just like it's just crazy how everybody comes up that some of these movies are so good. And like you said, it's the people behind it. It's the high priced, actors that they get in there. They think the better the name, the bigger the star, the better the movie's going to do. And in the long run, it's not classics. Everybody's not going to rewatch them like some of the classics that we watch, like the Rocky Horror, Picture Show. That's a cult classic. Everybody watches it. Everybody knows about it.
Um, well, you know what though? It used to be that way, Michelle, but not so much. And Casey pointed out something here. Interweb Kaiju. Hey, Casey. Um, he mentioned about it's people can't just see a movie and say it was okay. Everybody's got to
Mm,
say it's either the worst or it's the best. Like, and we're
yeah.
gonna see in a couple of weeks when Halloween Kill comes out. We're gonna get the people who are gonna be sitting there going like it's the best thing since sliced bread, and then you're gonna have the other people who are sitting there saying it's the worst movie ever made. I think
Mm,
that are conditioned now. They're conditioned for that overhype, and a lot of it has
mm,
to do like you go back to a lot of YouTube channels. You will see a lot of hot YouTube channels, and a lot of reasons why, if they're really honest with themselves, they're doing it for two reasons. If they overhype it or they underhype it, they're doing it for just basically the same one and the same reason. They want the views. They're not really
mm,
being honest with you about the reviews, and you could tell them. You can tell someone who's honest about a review versus someone who's just up there looking for views. They're just
mm,
being honest. It's
yeah.
okay, and you want to go to those people and say, listen, it's okay if you watch the new James Bond movie. It's okay for you to sit there and say, I didn't like how it ended. I don't know why they did that. Um, but it's not going to be the worst. It's not
Yeah.
the worst James Bond ever. Well, anybody says that, I already know that they have not watched all the James Bonds
Yeah.
by by half, because let me tell you, there's a lot in a series. There's always going to be movies, early on that are worse than the ones you're seeing now.
Mm,
It's just how it is. Um, I just think critics, they don't need to be influenced by what other people say. When I do
yeah.
my review, I don't want to ramble on it, but when I do my review, my goal when I do a review is this. My only thing is when I do my review is would I buy this movie myself?
Yeah.
That's the only rule that I have in reviewing a movie. Would I buy this movie myself? Because if I would not buy this movie for myself, then why am I going to hit to tell you that you should do that?
No, it's true.
I don't really feel like I don't want to sit there and tell you. I might say, this movie's not for me. Maybe you'll like it, but I'm not going to sit there and give you a hype job either, saying this is the best movie ever. This is the best movie of the year. You need to go out there yesterday and buy it. I just
Mm,
don't think that's really fair. I don't think. What if that a person hates it? They just got
yeah.
this $27 based on something maybe you have said, and you got to be real honest. I mean, not every movie is worth going out there and spending the $30 on.
Oh, definitely true. And again, it goes to that perspective, what you like and what you don't like. Some people appreciate more of the acting in a movie. Some people want the script in the movie. Some people just want the graphics and the CGI and all of that in a movie. Some people appreciate something more in a movie than somebody else doesn't. So I don't think I've seen some silly movies. Um, that I don't think I would watch again. But I've had some very great movies that I've watched, and some have been, you know, those rated movies that a lot of people don't watch, and I found some to be amazing. So, Uh,
Restaurant collector. He mentions this. No Time to Die. It was very good, but just said it was overhyped. Oh yeah, I mean overhyped, but you know what? You got to think about it. Where's that overhype coming from? Is it
mhm.
it's coming from basically it's coming from people who are being paid to overhype it. Um,
Yeah.
that's really what it comes down to. That's what their job is. Their job is to go out there and overhype it. And that can hurt a movie. Because now you have so much expectations that you're gonna roll in there, and you
Mhm.
expect James Bond to be able to roll the planet, across the universe. That's not going to happen. I think
Mhm.
if you go in with a clean mind, you don't let yourself be influenced by someone sitting on Rotten Tomatoes says it's certified fresh. If you don't let yourself be influenced by that, like you just go in with an open mind, you can go in
Mhm.
there and say, okay, maybe it's not the best James Bond, but it's not the worst one. It's a good movie, but and then you come out with your own true opinion.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. No Hobbs, no Pink Flamingo, only Hobbs.
No, I mean, I do think so too. I think if you are a fan of a series, you're gonna have your best and your worst that you like out of the series, but you're always gonna appreciate the whole series because you take everything into account because you know the ins and outs behind the stories and the main characters and stuff like that. And I just think you pull your own perspective out of it.
Every horror series has its best and worst movies. I mean, it's very, very hard for a series to be uniformly great, and I don't think there's not a single one that is. Every
No.
series has its weak points. In some cases, has a lot of weak points.
Mm,
Um, but they do so well at the box office that they can make their money back, and they're able to do another franchise, another
mm.
movie. But there's no 100% franchise with perfect movies. There's just not. Um, and that's just, I mean, and as long as you realize that, and to me, that's why I encourage people who like franchises to get to branch out and take your chances and buy some other movies that aren't part of franchises to find some fresh faces, find some fresh movies. Um,
Hmm.
I love Blind Buy.
Hmm.
Um, you know what a blind buy is?
No.
A blind buy is basically when you do makeup boxes, right?
Uh,
Now, do you ever buy your boxes based on do you ever just go out there and say, I just want to try that box. I know nothing about it, but I'm going to go ahead and buy the box and see what it's about.
yeah, I've done some like that, not knowing what I was going to get in it.
That's blind buy. You don't
Okay.
know what you're going to get. And that's the fun. That's the excitement about it. You don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Um, though I think spending some of the money you do for the beauty boxes, oh, this is not very good. I'm not going to be happy about that. But from us movie collectors, when we go out there and we buy blind buy movies, like for me, it's at the library and Dollar Tree. I've discovered so many great movies at blind buying. It's tremendous. It's an absolute joy. Um, and a lot of times those movies are never talked about. No one knows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people look at my reviews and they go like, "I've never heard." I mean, the most thing I hear about people when they see my reviews is, "I've never heard of it."
Hmm.
Um, and that's I just think that especially in horror films, I think a lot of people who watch horror, I think they get pigeonholed into watching the Grail movies, the Halloweens, the Jasons, the Nightmares, the Chucky, and it's like, no,
No.
you gotta branch out. There's a lot of greatness out there. Um,
See, I watch so many different types of horror movies. I could go for the gore, I could go for the science one, the plague ones, the animals, the zombies. I mean, I just watch a little bit of everything. I see a new title up there, I see a horror film that I haven't seen, and I'll just play it because you never know. Like you said, there's always a gem hidden somewhere.
oh, yeah. That's the best part about watching movies for me, is finding the new faces.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, I will do that. That's when you ask about the interviews, is that's what happens. a lot of times I will watch a movie that no one's ever heard of, and this is one good thing about social media. I can go ahead. Before I couldn't do this, but now with social media, if you watch a movie and you like it, and you really want to say something to the director or the actor or the producer, you can. Not
Hmm.
necessarily will you be assured that they're going to see it,
Yeah.
but chances are they will. And then you can come back and then you can talk to them about it. Like I've talked to, I've interviewed several directors whose movies I really enjoyed. I've actually had the honor of doing that. Like
Yeah.
before you watch a movie and it's just like you watch it, you go like, wow, I really like to tell them how much I like their movie. But of course
Yeah.
you never could. In the old days, you just put a letter in an envelope and that would be it, and you never hear from it. Here with social
Sure.
media, now you actually have a chance to go to an artist and sit there and say, "Thank you for making this movie," or "Thank you for writing this book." You know, making
Now,
this, making
I think it is much more amazing now that we can do that, than, I mean, they do. I don't know how much they listen, but I do know that they're probably taking some of our feedback back.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, studios are, yeah. I mean yeah. That's no doubt about that. Um,
Hmm.
and we were just talking about this yesterday and how social media now we're starting to find some of these movies they're starting to be cast using people from social media because they have massive following. Is that right? No, but they're not there for right and wrong. They're there to make money. So
Yeah.
so someone like Smooth John Jones has 100,000 followers, and they cast him in a role. They know for sure that even if it's just a one scene, they know that Smooth John Jones is going to go to his Instagram page and talk about it for for 3 months. And by the time their movie comes out, all his followers are going to go out there and watch it, and then
Yeah.
they make money. Doesn't mean they're a good actor, or anything else like that. It's just that means that the studios have adapted and how they're marketing their movies.
Hmm. No, it just, I don't know. I just, I'm fascinated, and I like I said, I am so fascinated by your channel and the panels that you guys put together, because I hear all this background, all all behind this, not behind the scenes kind of thing, but knowing a little bit more about the directors, the writers, the storyline. Sometimes I see things and then I go back, and after you guys talk and stuff, I like, oh, I see a different perspective on it. Not that you guys are changing my mind on the movie, but it gives me a new perspective on the movie itself. So, I mean, I tell you guys, everybody in the chat has to connect with each other. You have to connect with Patrick right over here, and watch some of the reviews and stuff that he does do. Because and the interviews that you have, I'm just like fascinated by all the people that you get. It's just like, and the questions that you ask, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he's got an actor on his channel. It's like, whoa, look at that.
Uh, but of course, but do you have one of these yet, Michelle? And you guys, anybody who's watched my channel knows what I'm going to be showing right now. You probably know what I'm going to
Okay.
be showing, right? Okay.
No.
Oh yeah, here it comes. Calendar. Got to have a calendar. I
Yes.
live by this. This is my calendar. So this is how I keep my life in order. Without this calendar, I'm just like it keeps me sane. You got a calendar. Nice, nice. I've already influenced somebody already.
Yes, you have. It's like I have my calendar here too. I always have to keep track of it.
Oh man. So yeah, isn't that something? Isn't that something you fill it out and you're hopeful and you're hopeful and you're hopeful and then and then time goes by fast too.
Oh yeah.
Um, but I know our time's wrapping up, but I wanted to get a chance to shout out my next 2 weeks, if I'm
Yes, go ahead.
if I'm able to. So
Oh
I
yes.
it's this calendar, and you got to take your chance to promote. I want to
Yes.
say a special shout out to you because what you said about watching panels and learning things about the movies and everything else. we do a very good job. Midnight Hour, we do a really good
Mhm.
job. There's another channel. I'll never miss a chance to hype it up because I absolutely love the content, and that's the Night Watch Zone. Um, Night, Coriander, Killian, and the unseen not member of the Night Watch Zone, Jerry. They're tremendous. They have a lot of knowledge too. I really enjoy their channel. In fact, I dare say that I probably don't want to talk to them because I like to know where they come up with their ideas and their how they see things. But they're really another good channel too. Um, I just want to hype to give them a shout out because they're awesome. As far as my calendar goes, so you guys can see how this thing works. So, so it's like I'm going to be talking to a film festival organizer on Tuesday. Now, a lot of our films that we get to watch, they start off at festivals first. They don't just come from the studio down to the theater. A lot of these they get played out in different festivals because they have to get bought basically. They,
Okay.
they they play around and they get some get hyped up like the Toronto International Film Festival. Cannes in France is huge.
Mhm.
Cinequest in San Jose is massive. South by Southwest in Austin, Texas is really important. And a lot of these places, these movies go and play before anybody else sees them, months.
Mhm.
So festivals are really important. So I'll be talking to my first festival organizer, and then I'll be talking to Thomas Churchill. He's a director whose movie just came out called The Amityville Moon. So
Cool.
that's on yeah, they just got released. It's you can get that at Walmart and big box stores. And
Okay, cool. I got to check
yeah,
that out.
so this is a movie that you can go get right now yourself. And he's going to come talk about his new movie with us, Amityville Moon. This is the second movie of a planned six movie story,
Mhm.
and he did one last year called the Amityville Harvest, and that was our first guest that we had on the Midnight Hour with Sadie Katz.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
so it's a real small circle, and then of course I'm interviewing Artfully Blind with Diana on the
Okay.
27th, and I'm
Yay.
interviewing She Wines on the 28th.
Oh, cool. You're
Yeah.
just like all packed. And when is your next panels coming up?
See, Sunday night we're doing on the Midnight Hour. We are doing Rocky Horror Picture Show. Um,
Okay.
uh, uh,
Ooh.
Hobbs is going to go as Frankenfurter. I'm hearing Frankenfurter. Hobbs. Uh, uh, uh,
Oh my God. What are you going as?
I was going to go with Eddie. I was going to have the Cheetah go as Eddie, but
Okay.
we're still discussing that. And then on the Halloween night itself, I will be back with Ben and Knight and Coriander, and we are reviewing and talking about IFC Midnight movie called The Wind, which
The
is
wind.
yes,
Oh, I
yeah.
haven't seen that one.
Nope,
Okay.
a lot of people don't on IFCs, but we're waking them up.
Oh no, I'm gonna. I have watched a bunch of IFC movies, but not that one. I have to look it up and watch it before you guys talk about it.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a real good one. Character study, slow burn, my type of movie.
All right, gotta check it out. Hob is Eddie. Jen is doing. Oh, Jen is doing Frankfurter.
Oh, Jen's doing Frankenfurter. Oh, okay.
Frankenfurter. Frank.
I thought the Cheetah and I were going to do Frankenfurter. I thought Hobbs was going to do Frankenfurter.
Okay, so let's see what you're gonna come up with. It's gonna be interesting. I can't wait because
Yeah.
I have fun when I go up and watch you guys and I'm in the chat and stuff. You guys sometimes have me laughing to death over there.
Sometimes they have us all laughing it up. Um,
Yes, definitely.
Michelle, I can't thank you enough for having me on. I'm totally
What?
tickled.
Oh, no problem. But before you go, let me ask anybody in the chat, do you have any questions for Patrick before he heads out? Any questions at all, either about his channel or about any of the movies or opinions? Definitely let us know. Babes, how are you? Oh, No, I'm trying to read because I don't have my glasses on because I have
Yeah,
these
my
funky things on my head right over here.
I wish this chat would be a little bigger font.
I know, and I could hardly see anything on there too. I'm like, that's how come I keep on looking between two different computers over here.
Yeah. I
I'm
got the
like,
things
but
I got my phone and I got my monitor to my desktop.
do you have any other reviews coming up soon?
Yeah, I'm doing the 31 days of Halloween.
Okay.
I got talked into doing it, and so after I get off doing this interview with you, I actually got to go grab Halloween '78 and watch that. I have
Oh,
not watched Halloween '78 in probably close to 30 years. So I'm,
yeah. I've been catching a couple of new films that I have not watched in forever. I'm going down my list. Um, so Retronic Collector says, "What's your favorite movie and why?"
uh, my favorite movie is a movie called A Dark Song that was released by IFC Midnight in 2017. It was written and directed by Liam Gavin, and I absolutely love that movie. It speaks to me. It's very personal. It's a personal movie. Um, it's about a mother who loses a son. Uh,
Mm.
she wants vengeance, and she wants to talk to her a guardian angel. And it's a
Oh,
really powerful movie. Um, it's definitely the best for me. Uh, a couple other ones I really enjoy too. One called White Room with Shauna McDonald from the movie The Descent. That's also top notch,
I think
and
I've
there's
seen that one.
that's a great movie, isn't it? It's a great
Yeah,
movie. Um,
I've seen that one.
that's one that will stay with you for a while. And then I watched another one called I watched called Hostel
Oh yeah,
with Brittany Ashworth, who's going to be a big star, um, real big star, and hopefully she's done a couple of new movies coming out, which I hope will put her on the map. But she's really good. Uh, let's see and then another movie I will tell you about. The last one I'll tell you about was a movie came out in the Netherlands called Molly. That was written and directed by Thies Muse and Kalinda Bongers and
I've
starred
heard of the name.
so insane. That movie is absolutely insane. It in the last scene, it's a one take. It's a 32-minute one take, single take shot. It's an amazing movie.
No,
Amazing.
I'm gonna have to re-look at that one because I know the name, and I know you said it, and I was like, something flashed in my head, and I'm gonna go make sure I check that out later on today as I'm doing some more makeup looks.
Oh, right. And right now, my current favorite YouTube channel, because I got to throw that out there too. I'm totally hooked on Mary Catherine Loves Cats. I
Oh
love her.
yeah,
I love her channel so much. Her and Smudge and Blue, they absolutely brighten my day every single day.
I know. Are you still having her on your channel? I asked her
No,
about coming onto mine, and she's not keen on interviews. So,
oh wow, you know what? That's too bad because I was gonna say she said no to me, but I thought because she was a little bit nervous. But I was thinking
mhm.
for you, it'd be perfect because you have because it's a lot more comfortable setting.
Mm, yeah,
No,
no, I don't. Some people are comfortable doing just the videos, and it took me a long time to do my first live stream. And everybody kept on saying, "Go ahead and do it. You could do it. You could do it." And it took for me forever because I thought, "Oh, I don't know if." The chat might go by too fast. I'm not going to be able to follow things. What am I going to say? Am I going to be talking to myself? So I don't know if that's how, she's not comfortable with it. But I respect her and I do love her channel. I am subscribed to her channel, so I do watch her videos and
I
love
do
her Masked
too.
Mondays.
I'm always checking in to see Smudge and
Yes,
Smudge,
I know.
Smudge, Smudge steals the show all the time. It's like it's absolutely hoot. And what's really cute about it is like one day she wasn't feeling that good, but Smudge is on there until she put down Smudge, and I sent her a private message. I said,
Mm,
It says Mary. I said Mary Catherine loves cats. I think it's more like Mary Catherine likes cats today. And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just not. I'm so. I wasn't feeling that good. I'm like, no problems. But her cat
Now,
Buzz is a scene stealer. I mean, he's an absolute. He's a joy to watch. I think if everybody watches him, I swear to you.
now my dog is so old that I would have to throw him up here and he'll just lay there the whole time. People will
Oh
be
my!
like, "Is that a statue?" He doesn't move very. She doesn't move very much. It's just crazy. So now I'm excited to see your next interviews coming up. Oh, I forgot to ask you, what has been your most embarrassing moment that you've had on live stream?
Uh, wow. The most. I don't know if it was so much embarrassing, but it was definitely unsettling. Um, I did an interview with one of my guests, and I don't know if this has happened to you yet or not, but after the interview was over with, I went back and I watched the replays.
Hmm.
And I just was totally like, oh my gosh, did I just screw this up? It's like because the interview did not have a flow to it. It did not have a
Hmm.
flow. It looked like we were dogfighting for the questions all the way through. And so I asked Hobbs and the crew at the midnight hour says, can you
Hmm.
be honest with me? Was this a good interview? Or, how could I improve? How can I
Hmm.
improve? And they said, no, man, it wasn't you at all. It was him, and I went back and I rewatched it again, and I realized that they were right. It wasn't me. It was him. He didn't want to be there.
Oh gosh,
That
that's
was like that
crazy.
was yeah. It's like he agreed to do the interview, but he didn't want to be there. And it was like,
Yeah.
wow, okay. I didn't read the room very well.
Mm,
I thought he would jump up there and be happy, and
mm,
because to me, anytime you get a chance to do an interview like this, and this includes us YouTubers,
mm.
if Michelle comes to you, any of you, and asks you to do an interview like this on her channel, you need to do it because it's only going to make your channel that much better for it. Um, so yeah, it's important to all of our channels. Here you are. You can sit there and say, "I got interviewed by Michelle from Makeup Mom and Son." You're in the same position as any well-known person. Your digital footprint is going to get that much bigger, and you'll probably get a couple of new subscribers, and that's awesome. But now you have that interview underneath your belt. It just makes you a better. It helps your live performances a much better too. Like I said, I could do this all day, talking
Yes.
like this, but don't ask me to do reviews all day because I can't. I just struggle. I really struggle. I just have a hard time doing it by myself. I have nothing but respect for you beauty channels. You guys can get out there and crank out a box as well. Like, this is what I like. I mean, I just admire you guys. I don't know how you make it seem so effortlessly. But me,
Um,
it's a dogfight.
yeah, you have to be a little creative. I'm working on it. I do say that I am enjoying my interviews a lot. I love learning about the person, about their channels, spreading the word. Because, like I said, I do feel that, okay, you see this channel over here and you might pass it and you're like, okay, well, what is it about? And sometimes you'll go back to them. But I think in these interviews, when people hear hear you talk and you talk about your channel and the things that you love, it draws them more to you and they're like, oh, you know what, I got to go ahead and check that out. And I just think that's how come I don't think I'll ever be totally scripted because I bounce from one thing to another thing.
Yeah, I, I,
So
I can I can tell. I mean, one of the things I can do is like I can tell like what my interviews do really well. They're the best thing that happens on my channel.
mm,
The reviews I do for the movies that I do by myself, they they really struggle because I don't really because I'm uncomfortable on camera by myself, and
mm,
you're probably most likely right. I think everybody feeds off that. They come over and watch my review, and they
mm,
just go like, yeah, he's uncomfortable, and of course that in turn makes them uncomfortable, and so that's the reason why I don't have very many high views on my film reviews.
mm.
I know that, but my interviews, yeah, they're good. They're the best part of my channel for sure. the Midnight Hour, the IFC Midnight Nights. Um, yeah, they do really well for me. But as far as what this is doing well for me. But doing this one, doing my 31 Days of Halloween, yeah, not so not so much.
But it'll draw them in coming from your live streams that they'll want to go ahead and see your review and they know who you are. So they know, okay, well, that's just Patrick, but they're going to listen to what you're saying about the movie. So I think eventually it'll all tie in together. So.
Uh, Everybody needs to connect with Michelle. We're gonna you gotta get you over 1,000 before the end of the year. You're so
I
close.
believe it.
You're,
Yes.
what were you at? 853 last I talked to you.
Yeah, I'm at, I think, 880 now. I
880.
think.
So
Yeah, I
so
know, but I'm still working on those hours. So that's why
oh,
I've been trying to do
not,
more live streams. I just have not been consistent with them, but also with everything going on with my show. I was more out of work this week than I was at work. So, and then they're going to do another procedure on my shoulder. So it's just like, okay, trying to get all these films out and ready and up and going so everybody could see stuff. So that's how come I was so late doing my collab look right here.
no, your costume is great.
I'm like, yeah, no, I'm gonna hopefully soon I'll be I have to do still a scary look, which I think I'm gonna try something very different. I'm gonna do something that I have to close my eyes and it's gonna like black holes in my eyes and stuff. So I wanted to play with latex and I had gotten some so I could make like marks and stuff. But latex is very, you got to play around with it more than the time that I have to play with it. So maybe next year I'll be coming off with skin coming down and stuff like that. I'll be a deer hitting a car. I don't know.
Oh God, yeah. That would be very interesting.
Yes, I'll have to take a picture of this look, recreate it, but then have half my face taken off. So
Right, right.
we'll see. We'll see how good I get with it by the time by next year. It's just very tricky to play with because you have to layer it and you put tissue and then you got. I tried to do it on my hand. It just looked like a ball of mess.
Poor Bambi.
I know, poor Bambi. Bambi is going to be, but we'll see. Next year, hopefully, it'll be more interesting for my background. You see, I changed it a little. I tried to get these two to put makeup on, but it just is not working out.
I agree with that, Red Tonic. He says he thinks Michelle will get to 1,000 very easy. She's an excellent host and a great YouTuber in my view. I totally 100% agree with that.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you. I'm trying to get out there, so it's like, but no, I just like I said, I can't wait for Sunday for Rocky Horror because
Oh,
being living in New York, I went to one of the shows, so I was there. I didn't dress up per se at the time, but when you're there and they throw water on you, I mean, it's just an exciting experience, and I love the Rocky Horror Show.
yeah.
So.
I actually saw that at the theater too. It's an amazing experience.
Oh, it is. If anybody gets a chance to go ahead and go to the Rocky Horror Show, if it's live near you, you definitely have to go. It is just an awesome time. Even if you don't know the movie that well, or if you don't dress, I mean, dressing up is the best part. But it is just so much fun. So it's just like you definitely have to go ahead and check that out if it's somewhere in a city next to you. So, but you'll be able to enjoy it on Sunday on his channel.
Yeah, we
Well, it's going to be on Hobbs.
yeah, Hobbs' channel this Sunday. Next Sunday, I will be hosted on the 17th. I don't know how
All
that
right.
happened. I don't know how I ended up getting a midnight hour host during this spectacular month, but I did. I got to come up with something.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks so much, Michelle.
Oh, no.
I actually had a total blast.
Oh, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. I know Kenneth had dropped the link for Patrick's channel up. It's pinned up above, so make sure you guys definitely go ahead and check that out. I
Yeah, help
probably
me get to 400.
Yes, definitely. We need to get your numbers up there because I love your channel. I always have fun watching your interviews, and you guys have to check out his interviews. He has some very exciting people and different people on there. It's not just, YouTube channels. I mean, there's so many people. I'm like amazed at half the people you have on your channel. It's like, oh my gosh, you have an actor,
Oh
you have an
yeah,
actress.
we're,
So.
we're trying to get up there. We're still looking for that one. We're still looking for that one name to help break us. So
Uh, it will definitely happen. It will happen. Believe me, you're gonna keep on putting out all that info out there, and it's gonna come back to you.
yeah, I actually got Morgan Fairchild actually wrote me and said thank you, but no thank you. But at least she took the time enough to say thank you, but no thank you. So thank you for
That
that
is
one. Yeah.
that is true. I've decided somebody, Diana Brianna Fairchild, she was on my interview one time, and she said, you just got to put it out there. And I've put out stuff to some of the bigger YouTube channels that do unboxings and beauties and stuff like that. Um, I haven't heard anything back, but after a while, I keep on trying again. All they could say is no or not say
Yeah.
nothing at all, right?
Right. I mean, if you don't ask, it's still a no. It's a no until because you didn't ask. So, yeah, that's what I did. I mean, I sent out I sent out a massive a blast out last night, and
Hmm.
for November, and yeah, I got a lot of November is going to be sort of like homecoming month for me,
Oh,
because a lot
cool.
of people, yeah, because a lot of the people that I'm going to interview live, I've already interviewed on my blog.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and now I get a chance to talk to him face to face, and I'm really happy about that because I didn't get something I wanted to do, and
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, so it's gonna be sort of like a homecoming theme, but I'm really excited for the last week of the month here. It's gonna be Artist Week with Braden Duncan. Diana will be with me, and of course she Wines and her husband will be here, and I can't wait for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yes.
I like to
Now,
prepare.
there are so many of us that are doing stuff on Halloween. Like me, I'm going to try to do something on Halloween and have people come up and just come up and tell me three things. Tell me what your favorite Halloween movie is and why. What was your favorite candy trick or treating when you were younger? And to tell me a scary story or a folk tale or like a local legend around your area. And that's
Wow.
all everybody has to do. So I'm going to invite everybody to just come up as people come. Okay, let's bring you up and tell me those three things. So let's see how that
That will
goes.
be a pop in live stream. You will crush numbers for doing that.
I'm
You need
hoping.
to promote that in our groups. Now we're friends on Facebook. You are in my groups, are you not? I mean,
Yes, I
oh,
am.
please promote that in the groups. Um, yeah, please do.
Yes, no, I'm thinking that it'll be something a little different on Halloween, and everybody gets to come up and say, "Hey, I'm so and so from this channel, and this is the things that I like." So, and it's just like a quick, easy way. So, anybody interested, definitely go ahead and DM me on Instagram and let me know, or comment back on the description down below and let me know if you're interested in coming up and doing that. So, it's just three questions. You don't have to be up long. And so it'll be like whoever comes first goes up first, and then the next person. So,
Wow, that'll be a lot of fun. I'll come by and say hi to you before we go up for our thing with our IFC show. I'll come up and say hi.
cool. Remember, I have a
Oh,
scary story for me.
what time will your show start?
I'm not sure. I might do it a little bit early, like at 3, because I know some people are going to be doing theirs later. So I figured to give a chance for other people to kind of like come up beforehand. So,
Yeah, you need to get your contest in. You need to get your entry.
yes,
We're going to be doing the drawing for the spectacular on the 31st.
I know. I think it was Mr. Bones who said I should stay like this and do my video.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I totally agree. Stay right where you're at. Let me get my ass off here, and then you can just go ahead and crank it out and send it to Hobbs.
I know. I definitely have to do it. So thank you so much for coming. Make sure you guys connect with Patrick. And when you're on and you see his live stream, connect with the other people in his panel, like Mr. Bones, Hobbs. There's a whole bunch of people that wrote. Well, they're the same people on the channels, but he's got a great group of supporters over there. So make sure you guys check that out.
Thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome. I
Good
hope you
night,
have a great
everybody.
day.
I will. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Peace.
So, everybody, thank you for coming for the interview. As you could tell, yes, I am dressed up as a half deer, a doe, a deer, a female deer. I don't know what you want to call my look. I'm doing a collaboration with 7 other channels, and we're doing different looks for the month. This week, it's a animal spirit. Next week, I think we're doing either a clown, we're doing a scary look, and we're doing a pretty look. So, unfortunately, I didn't have time between putting on all this and trying to get this video out, which has not still downloaded. So, it will probably be up after this. Oh, or maybe it's out right now. Oh, no, it's going out later on. So you guys go ahead and definitely check that out. If anybody is interested in being interviewed, having me interview, please contact me on Instagram or on Twitter at Makeup Mom and Son. It's the same as here. Also, if anybody's interested in joining up on that panel that I have going on for October 30th, where, like I said, you'll just be answering 3 questions. Your favorite Halloween candy as a kid that you would love to get while you're trick or treating, your favorite horror movie, and why it is, and then tell me a scary story, even if it's a short story or a local legend. So it won't be that long that you'll be up on the panel, but I thought it would be something kind of like different. And then this way, I will post a time coming up soon when I'm going to do that. And let me know, you guys, what time would you rather see that done on October 30th? Do you like something a little bit earlier, like 3 o'clock? Do you want something later, like at 6 o'clock? Or should I do something like much later, like 8 o'clock at night? Be a little bit more spookier. So let me know. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yes, I've been working on the background. I have to get the butterflies off because they do not match the scary theme going on. I think I'm going to print out some handprints, red handprints, and put it back there. So it's still a work in progress. Hey, Jaden, how are you? Thank you, thank you. Just wait until my scary look. My scary, well, this is the picture of what I'm supposed to look like. There you go. I don't know how well I did. But that is the look that I was going for. So, but make sure you guys watch those videos. Like I said, we're getting close. The numbers are getting up there. I can't wait. I think it's the 12th that we're going to be having. I think anybody over 500 subscribers will be having a community tab. So I'm very excited about that. So this way I could put out polls and stuff for you guys to answer on there and get together more groups and stuff. So I have a few things planned up and stuff, but I'm kind of excited. I know I'm going to try to do a live stream tomorrow, you guys. Just a really general chit chat, everybody talk. You know me, I start on one topic, I finish on another. Hopefully my background will look a little bit different at that point. Oh, Sam, you'd be interested? Okay, see, look at that. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a little different. And like I said, as long as I could see you when you're down in the basement, then this way, if you don't show your face all the time, then you could just put on your little. It's like when I stop my cam here, you're gonna see that little picture of me. But if you're not comfortable on camera, you could always do something like that. As long as I could see you from the basement, But I think it'll be something different. And this way also, I'll go ahead and when you come up, we'll mention your channel and stuff like that. So this way, everybody kind of like knows who you are. So I think it'll be something different. So thank you, V. Thank you so much. I know it's my animal look I came up with my collab. I'm on. You'll see the real picture because I have my nose done. I have my lips done better. I just kind of like took it off for the interview real fast because I didn't have enough time from getting the video up to now. Oh, thank you, Electronic Collector. Thank you so much. I know I have to catch up. I've been behind on everybody, but I've been trying to get a couple of more videos and stuff. I have some boxes here before. I don't know when they're going to do my other procedure on my arm. I'm a little bit better now today, now that I'm resting, but it looks like it's my bicep this time. And so he wants to do ultrasound guided injection into my bicep to help with that because I was more off than on more off of work than in work this week, and so it's just been a very long week. But I'm so happy I got to interview Patrick. He's amazing. You guys definitely have to check him out. Also with Mr. Bones and Hobbs that's in here. If you like movies, they talk about other things too, you guys. But it's a great group of guys over there. So and girls, because Jenna is there too. So you guys definitely have to go ahead and check them out. Like I said, if for the interviews here, even though I mostly makeup, but I have so many different friends from different genres, here. So if you're interested in being in an interview, definitely go ahead and hit me up. Right now, I have coming up. See, I dropped my thing. Next week, I'm going to have the Patrol Paranormal Investigations. So they're going to be up next week about 4 o'clock. So make sure you guys watch that. They are paranormal investigators. And so that's going to be very interesting to see how they find their work and how they do their work. And I mean, do any of the spirits follow them? I mean, there's so many different interesting things. The week after, I'm going to have Hilder DC on. And then on the 19th, I'm going to be on Janetti's Corner. We're going to be doing a mukbang Halloween series on her channel. So I'm going to be Poison Ivory. So you guys are going to see a different look on me on that channel. Then I also have coming up to in November, I have Lennox Lights, and I also have, oh, I can't see. You guys know I'm blind as a bat. I also have A Day in the Life of Michelle. I also have somebody else just contacted me, so I will get them in. And I'm trying to get the House of Entertainment up too. So, and I have Red Riding Hood. And so she's going to be up on my channel too. I think she's on either the 6th or the 27th of November. So I have Red on there too. And then, like I said, hopefully I could get the House of Entertainment to come up and do an interview with me too. And so, but that might be probably in December because I'm almost up to December on interviews, you guys. So if you guys are enjoying this series, I could always try to add an extra one during the week, depending on how many people I could get up. Right now, I'm only doing the Saturdays. I thought it was an easier day for everybody to spend time here. And then this way, have some fun. So I'm going to let everybody go, but I will be on tomorrow. I will upload the time that'll be on tomorrow. It'll just be just let's chit chat kind of live stream for tomorrow, and then I'm going to try to go up again on Tuesday and Thursday, and then make sure you guys check the video out to see my full look. It's a little long, but you'll see the process that came up to do this. And I thank everybody for coming in. I appreciate it so much. I appreciate all the support everybody gives me, and also to give to the channels that I interview. Because, like I said, this is for everybody. My way of, you know, showing you guys off and letting you guys talk about your channel. So I hope you guys all connect with everybody that I interview. Go ahead and check out my playlist of my interviews that I've done already. I'm getting a little bit better, you guys. But one day I'll be like, really, like a Connie Chung kind of thing. So, or Barbara Walters. So you never know. But I hope everybody has a wonderful, fabulous day. I'll see everybody tomorrow on my live stream. I got to get this stuff off my face. And everybody stay safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Whoop, I have to end it a certain way. Everybody tells me I have to do it this way, and I'm doing it a different way. I know. Crazy me. Always having technical difficulties. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, here we go. Bye.